What's going on, guys? Car Review Guys here. My name is AJ, and this week we have the 2025 all new, and it is very nice, Infiniti QX80. This is the autograph, so this is the top trim level out of the QX80s. This is going to be the full review. Next video is probably going to be 5 things to love, 5 things to improve. I might try to do a night drive just because there's so much technology in this with all the different ambient lighting and stuff, but we will see. I've tried night drives before. They don't necessarily turn out on camera. It's kind of hard to see, so we'll see. I will try it, but nonetheless, definitely the 5 things to love, 5 things to improve. I do that on every single vehicle. We'll see about the night drive, so stay tuned. Over 21,000 subscribers. Thank each and every one of you. So if you are new to my channel, we are going to start with the cinematic. It's roughly a minute. Then we are going to go to the exterior, talk stats, figures, things I think you would want to know. Step on into the interior, go through all of that, and then we will take it on a drive. So without further ado, let's roll. Starting with some of the stats and figures, this QX80 is a 3.5 liter 6-cylinder twin turbo, pushing 450 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque. We are looking at a 9-speed automatic transmission with 4x4 powertrain. Curb weight is around 5,600 pounds, and it's going to be pushing 0 to 60, in my opinion, pretty impressive, 5.3 to 6 seconds. Towing capacity is about 9,000 pounds. Gas mileage, 16 city, 19 highway, with a combined average of around 17 mpgs. Premium fuel. Gas tank is 23.59 gallons. Vehicle dimensions, overall length, we are looking at 17.6 feet. Overall height is 77.9 inches / 6.5 feet. And then our overall width is right around 6.9 feet. So definitely not small, seeing as it's a large SUV, so obviously makes sense. Now, pricing starts at around $82,450. Tester today, $112,590, and that is including the destination charge. All right, just pointing out some of the things on the exterior you may or may not notice at first. All LED headlamps with these signature runners, which look pretty cool. You can see the Infiniti badge is actually lit up. It is daylight, so kind of hard to see, but it is there. You got the camera right there for the full 360 camera. There is also a pretty cool feature that is basically an invisible front hood, which we will be looking at once we get on the interior. Got some pretty sharp wheels, 22-inch wheels. This is on the autograph. And then continuing on around, we have pop outdoor handles. They are on all 4s, keyless entry, which is very nice. Nice runners, very easy to use. And then coming around to the back, just want to point out some of the little details. You can see Infiniti in there. You can see autograph up here, which again, it looks really cool. I really do like some of the little subtle things that they have done. And then back here in the back, pretty straightforward. All LEDs, clean, Infiniti. And then you have the button here to pop the rear hatch. I am getting eaten alive by mosquitoes right now, by the way. Good night. Welcome to monsoon in Arizona. Nonetheless, here we are looking at the rear just to show you some size comparison. I have 2 golf bags in here, Third row is folded, all controlled right here, left and right side. You can also control the vehicle height. You can drop this around roughly 2.5 inches down. So if it's too high, you can just lower it, which is nice. I will put on the screen right in here the cubic feet with seats up and down. I test every vehicle, whether it's easy to get in or not. I am 5'9" if you are new to my channel. So stepping in the rear, you do have the handle here, and then also there is the running board, which I already talked about. So stepping up in, very, 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 very easy, which I would expect on a large SUV. Now that I am back here, this is actually my first time back here because for a press vehicle, I'm the only one that can drive. So it's not like I can like ride back here. So this is my first time back here, checking this out. So it is, this is exactly what I can see. So it is a little bit stadium type seating, so you can see over just a little bit. Definitely sitting up high, and then tucking on headroom. I've probably got, I would say, about 3 inches roughly. And then leg space, there is a ton of leg space. So very, very comfortable, fully power adjustable seat, heated seat, cooled seat, massaging seats, all second row. The third row, which is folded, it also has heated seats. Heated seats, third row. Pretty wild. Definitely, they have pretty much thought of everybody. They're not leaving anyone out, which is nice. Taking a look in here, so you can hit the power button here on the screen. Heated seats, ventilated. You've got your climate control, which you can control from here, or you can reach up there, whatever you would like to do. Now, if we hit home, again, heated and ventilated seats. You can hit your right seat, left seat, whatever. And then seat adjustment. This is where you can go through and change everything as well. And then if you slide over, you can see seat massage. So you can select whatever you would like, intensity, speed, whatever. And then we've got various different settings for the screen. 2 cup holders, and then you also have back here a nice, I'll call it a center console. You have 2 USB-Cs in there as well. For your temperature controls back here, the vent is located right up here. And while we're up here, it is a nice Alcantara headliner. Got some speakers. In this is a 24 speaker system, and it is crystal clear. Taking a look at the door materials, all soft touch here, all soft touch here. You have ambient lighting, which is probably really hard to see right now, but it's right along this strip. So that is really nice at night. And ambient lighting will get all up there. We'll talk about that as well. And then as far as speakers, again, I said 24 speaker system. And if we look right here, it is a, again, I'm gonna butcher this probably, but Klipsch, that's my guess. First vehicle I've been in that has the Klipsch. And again, if I'm butchering that, it is what it is, but nonetheless, they sound really good. Okay, time to step into the front. Again, you have a handle and step bar. Stepping in, super easy, which is nice. Okay, now that we are in here, let's take a look at the steering wheel. So over on the left side is all of your cruise control settings, Pro Pilot Assist, which this does have 2.1. So on certain freeways and such, you will be able to have hands-free, just depends on where you are at. Adaptive cruise control, you have your volume settings here, and then to set your cruise. And I'm gonna be real honest. Please comment down below if you know what that button is. For real. I have gone through all of Infiniti's newsroom, and I can't find what that button means. To me, something to do with lane changing, but I cannot figure out what that button is. And I'm sure I will know after this video what it is, because I can just email the Infiniti rep. However, I only have this vehicle for a week and they are super busy, so it's not like I would get it back in the time of me having to make this video. So being humble here, if you guys know what that is, just comment down below. I would love to know, genuinely interested. Over on the left, again, ambient lighting, and then we have 2 settings for memory seats, and you also have passenger memory seating as well. Continuing on with the steering wheel, over on the right, you can control either screen. You have a screen here and a screen there, and basically that's what this is indicating. So this is on the left screen at the moment, so you can see if I scroll, I can go through various different menus using the wheel, and then if we hit it over here to the right, then we can control, you can see things moving over there. So definitely a nice little feature. You can control either screen from the same scroll wheel. You have your seeking for tracks, your voice commands, and then let's touch on this screen up here. So Google is built in now, and it is a huge improvement from previous, and it is super easy to use and swipe. It's very responsive, definitely really cool. Now let's touch on the dash cam here. So you can see this is out in front of us, so you can start recording whatever, and then you also have an inside camera as well, and you can see there we are, and the camera is located right there. Okay, and then behind my head, you can kind of see we've got speakers in the headrest. This is has the capability of doing individual audio. Another humble thing here, right? I've done more time than I care to admit. I can't figure out how to turn on the individual audio. So you can like take a phone call and no one else has to hear it. Just comes through my speakers. Everyone else can still be listening to music. That's pretty cool. Or I could be listening to music and then everyone else could be listening to a different song. I can't for the life of me figure out how to turn that on. So if you know how, comment down below, and if you do, I'll maybe try to like make a short on it or whatever to make it more out there, because when you search all through YouTube and can't find it, or Google, you know it's not all that easy, and not too many people have really touched on it. So, and watching some of the other reviewers, they don't touch on it either, and I'm guessing because they don't really know. And that's fine, I don't either, but if you guys do, especially if you're an owner, you probably do know, please help me out, appreciate it, thank you. Continuing on, all right, so Infiniti is, in my opinion, always been known to really have multiple screens. So down here we have the screen for all of the temperature controls, heated seats, cooled seats, heated steering wheel, a lot of things. You can see where this says bio cool. Right now it's grayed out because I actually turned it off, but so there is this sensor right here. It's an infrared sensor, and essentially for the second row, it will take the bio temperature of someone, right? Like let's say you have like a child, right? And you can't tell whether they're warm or cool, then it's automatically reading their body temperature, and it will send air, whether cool or heat, whatever they need to be a more comfortable temperature. So, and it's almost instant. So it's a pretty cool little feature, to be honest with you. Looking up here, we do have a digital rear view mirror. You can turn that off just by simply flipping if you don't like it, but definitely on an SUV, highly recommend all SUVs to have that, so it is nice. Up here, we've got a sunglasses holder, and then if we hit this button, it is a full panoramic roof. It's gonna stop really at the front, and then one more. I'll let it keep going there. It is definitely pretty big. We'll come back to it in a second. Checking out the pattern on the seats, I really love the diamond stitch, is what I call it. Looks really good. The only downside is there are only two colors right now. It's this color and then a black. So I would love to see a few more color options, but it is really nicely done. Now, if we look up, you can see, and look at all of these bugs. Can you see them? They're everywhere right now because we just had a storm last night. I don't even know what they're called, but they're everywhere. Nonetheless, full panoramic roof, and it looks good. All right, we've got two cup holders. We have a wireless charging pad, and then in here we have a cool box, and it is ridiculously deep. This is a full, basically smart water Kirkland version, and it does fit in there, and it does get it nice and cold. You can turn it off if you would like. That is a super nice feature. It even has a little gasket here to keep it nice and cool. And as loud as this is, let's see if you can hear. If you shut it, you can hardly hear it at all. Definitely nice. Out in front of us, we do have a heads-up display. Checking out the invisible hood really quickly. Check this out. You can actually use both screens. You can see where the wheels are located. Definitely a pretty neat little feature. You can see that's exactly how it is underneath the vehicle too. So this is what a lot of off-road focused vehicles need, because then you could see, like, you know, certain size rocks and different stuff. Nonetheless, pretty cool little feature. Cameras are crystal clear. So just taking a look at the full 360 here, very clear, very high quality, and this refresh that Infiniti has done is so nice and honestly tech leading. Just touching on the front seat massagers, similar to the rear. You can click here, you have intensity, speed, you've got 3 different settings. You have, if you turn it on, you have relaxing, refreshing, and lumbar. I usually do relaxing, that's personally what I like, and they are pretty good massagers, in my opinion. I think we've covered just about anything and everything on the interior for the most part, let's get this QX80 out on the road. I have put some miles on this QX80, and my very first impression, which probably should be, is just how quiet it is. So looking at some stats from its predecessor, and I did not drive the predecessor, so keep that in mind. I am honest in all my reviews. I will tell you what I do and don't know, as you probably have already could tell. So what I would say is the predecessor per online, this is roughly 4 decibels, I believe, if I'm remembered correctly, quieter than the previous QX80. So that just goes to show you how much focus they're putting on making this ultra luxury. I mean, even thinking of 3rd row heated seats. So that was my first impression, is just how quiet this vehicle is. And to me, there's always 3 categories if you're new to my channel. There is interior noise from 3 aspects. You have wind noise, you have tire noise, and you have engine noise, right? So with that being said, from all aspects, it's really quiet, especially wind noise. Like, I've been on the freeway for quite a while. Here in Arizona, speed limit 75, so just having your speed at 75, quiet, like really quiet. It's pretty impressive. Engine noise, you can hear a little bit, very maintained, so it's definitely acceptable, but it's there, a hair. Tire noise, also really quiet. Only really noisy, like terrible roads, can you even remotely hear them. Other than that, like normal roads, quiet. So from all 3 categories, very, very impressed from that standpoint. The other thing that I've noticed, the only thing that's a little quirky, and I've actually, before I got this vehicle, watching some of the other reviews that are out there, the steering, just from a low speed, like just from a standstill, is a little odd. It's not, like, I don't know, it's a little heavy for a luxury vehicle, and I know it's a large vehicle, so I don't know if it's even possible to get it much lighter. I have not driven the Escalade, which obviously is a competitor. I don't know if they have it any lighter, but it is a little bit heavy from slow speeds. Once you're up to speed, obviously super light, super easy, but yeah, that was the only thing. It was just a hair odd. I don't know, like, you probably couldn't even hear that vehicle going by, maybe barely, but that's just to my point of noise. Let's touch on blind spots. Over to our left, the pillar's just a hair thicker than normal, but very easy to see. And then over to our right, I mean, there are windows for days, honestly, so no issue checking over to our right. If you have an issue, of course, there is blind spot monitoring equipped. We're coming up to the cattle guard every week, every single vehicle we do this. So let's see how it does at 45 miles an hour. Here we go. It just literally floated right over it. Like, I probably hardly moved at all, and that is definitely up there with one of the quietest vehicles I've ever driven over that cattle guard. That's impressive. Being a heavier vehicle, we did touch on the 0-260, and that also does not necessarily mean it has good passing power, but it really does. Being on the freeway, just hitting it and trying to go around somebody, very happy with the size of vehicle for what this thing can do. It's pretty impressive. So I know there's many people out there, and you know, the elephant in the room, in my opinion, for Infiniti for quite some time was they were very outdated. There's no way around it. The tech, everything was so old, and it just felt honestly archaic. And this QX80, it just goes to show that Infiniti does not want to be the BlackBerry in the cell phone world for the automotive industry. They have turned this around completely. I mean, it is so nice. It is so luxurious feeling, and the tech feels so updated. I mean, just hats off to Infiniti, really, because they started really listening to their customers and the automotive industry saying, hey, we really need you guys to update this stuff. And they listened, and it is quite impressive what they've been able to do, just showing what is in this QX80 autograph. Suspension's very smooth, obviously. We tested that over the cattle guard, but let's see how it does taking a turn. I expect some body roll, that's for sure, being such a large vehicle, taking this at 20 miles an hour. That's a little better than I expected. A little bit better than I expected. Obviously a large SUV, you're gonna have some body roll, not made to go quickly around turns, but sometimes you get in some large SUVs and even just taking a slow turn, you feel like you're kind of going back and forth, and this didn't. It kind of felt pretty planted. That's pretty good for the size of vehicle. Touching on Pro Pilot Assist, you can go dead center of the lane. Again, it's hands-free in some areas. Just depending on where you're at. And then in others, your hands are on the wheel, but nonetheless, it still stays dead center of the lane. So, Pro Pilot Assist works good. You do have to have your cruise control set, of course. Some people are gonna say that massagers and seats are gimmicky, but once you experience one, you're probably gonna go, wow, that is really nice. There's some people that have told me in life that once you experience something a little bit nicer and you get up into something, that kind of almost becomes the standard, and you say, hey, I'm gonna work harder so I can get that. And to me, this is almost, not even almost, this is one of those vehicles to me, in my opinion, for me. It shows me what is out there in the automotive industry as far as luxury, and I go, man, yes, I like my exotic cars and sports cars and high-end cars like that, but it also makes me say, hey, for a daily driver, like, I want something really luxurious. Like, this thing is so comfortable, especially for a road trip. Are you kidding me? Me, 3 other buddies going on a golf trip, most comfortable vehicle you could ever ask for. 4 people in this vehicle, all the clubs in the back, all the luggage, all of us getting massages, heated seats, cooled seats. So luxurious, so nice, and so quiet, which is what I expect in luxury, and this is one of those vehicles. If there's anything that I am missing or you guys would like to know, please comment down below. I try my best to respond to every single person. Over 21,000 subscribers, chasing 25,000 subscribers. Please join the journey. I appreciate it, and hopefully you guys enjoyed, and as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.